bark that's just falling off. It's a nice bundle. I am not a chef, and you will see why. There we go. I guess there's more than one way to skin an eggplant. My stomach is growling. Actually, now might be a good time to add some spices. You can go camping without having meat. I mean, give me a break. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. Is that concentrate? Oh, there's something black floating in there. Oh well. We're never satisfied. Gusto ko mamili sa mga tindahan sa US. I hate shopping. Magandang tanghali. Ako si Tatay Dave at ngayong araw sa Pisgah National Forest, again, sa North Carolina. And all the campsites are taken, the official campsites. So today I'm going to do some backpacking and we'll try to find a fairly decent place to set up camp. I have a very heavy pack today. I'm going to make I guess you would call it a traditional Filipino meal. I'm not really sure, but I did try it at a Filipino restaurant in Atlanta, and boy, masarap. I have quite a busy day ahead of me. I'm going to not only have to find a campsite, gather firewood, set up the tent, and then cook. It's already after 12 p.m., so I'm kind of getting a late start. C'est la vie. Just had a banana. It looks like this is usually a spring. I'm a little bit concerned that I might not find any water. I don't know if you can hear it, but I hear water now. I came across another little spring. Hear it? There's a little bit of a trickle of water here, so it might take some time, but I would be able to collect it. And I noticed that this is the left side of the road. So here on the other side, there's a pipe and you can see the water kind of bursting out. That would be a great place to collect the water, filter it, and be able to drink it. I haven't really found a good place to camp yet. I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for, but I guess I'll know when I see it. I suppose something like right here would be okay. Although I smell a skunk. That's not good. And maybe down there a little ways, not too far from the water source. Looks like I'm not gonna have a great view, a majestic view. I'm kind of lost in the trees here. And I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. So I'm gonna leave the pack here and go check out down there a little bit. I'm no expert, but I think all these ferns indicate that the ground is moist. A lot of water in the soil. Not exactly the best place to camp, but we'll see. I think I found a spot right here for the tent. Just a little debris to clean up, and no widow makers. This tree on the left would fall to the left of the tent. This tree here would fall in front of the tent if it got struck by lightning or heavy wind. And I don't see any other concerns. So, yeah, right there for the tent. And for the fire, I kind of like this spot right here in the sun. So I can get a little sun exposure. It's kind of cool today. It's about 66 degrees. So that looks pretty good. And there's quite a drop off down here. Might be another water source down there. And on the other side, there's a drop off as well. So again, like the last video, we're on a ridge line. Cleared a circle about 10 feet wide, and right where my banana peel is, I think I'm going to dig a little bit of a hole because there aren't any rocks around here that I can see unless I take a long walk and gather them, and I don't think it's that important. So to try and keep the fire contained, I'm going to just dig a little fire pit. And there are some roots here. But if I carve out a circle first, I should be able to remove the middle, put it around the outside of the fire ring. It's not going to be that deep. All right, I've got my saw and it's time to go collect some firewood. Oh, I also have the bear horn in case we run into a bear, and the bear spray on my belt. Now remember, when we're looking for firewood for camping, we never want to get any wood that's been laying on the ground. We always want the branches that are sticking up, or you know, a tree that's dead and falling over. As long as it's not touching the ground, it should be good for the fire. So this stuff here, that's no good. No good. Touching the ground. That looks good. It's been dead for a while, but not too long. And it's not touching the ground. Now maybe I could break it now, cut it halfway. Doesn't have to be pretty, we're just gonna burn it. Actually, I kind of like this way better. Stay out of the path with the blade. Another thing you can do is find two trees that are together and kind of in a V shape. Both of these are dead, so I don't have to worry about damaging the bark, which could damage the tree. So you stick your wood in between the trees like that, and then you come down here where you'll get some leverage and just bend it till it snaps. All right, let's try that again. You stick the branch in there. That was easy. Look at that. I cannot break that with my hands or my knees, but this makes it super easy. Look at this wood here. It's got this bark that's just falling off, peeling off. It was standing and it like comes off in these little strands. That might be good to help start a fire if we can like crumple that up a little bit into a ball. So we're going to try that today instead of the cotton ball. We're going to go natural today. Not all natural, just natural. I want to show you where I found that because there's some more here that I can gather. See that? A tree that's standing and the bark is peeling off. All right, I'm getting really hungry, so let's get the fire going. First, I'm gonna put a layer of wood down on the bottom of the fire pit. The banana, I guess we could lay that right there. That will burn up eventually. All right, now with this bark, I really don't know what I'm doing, so we're gonna learn together. Doesn't that sound like fun? I think maybe if I crumple these up, it makes them more able to pull the strands apart. See that? And I have a feeling that if these strands are more apart, they're more apt to catch on fire. That looks like stuff I've seen on YouTube. Like a ball of tinder. Beautiful. Let's get some more. This is great for a dry day like this. Today is beautiful. I'm not hot at all. There's a nice breeze up here on the ridge. The sky is blue. There's not a cloud in the sky that I can see through the trees. Look, it's a nice bundle. So I'm gonna try something new today. I'm gonna use some char material. This was an Altoids tin, which is mince. And in here I have some char material. This is cloth, so it's actually called char cloth. It's cotton as far as I know. And I put the cotton cloth in here. I poked a little hole with the tip of my knife. And then when there was a fire, I just put it on the fire. You could see some steam coming out of that hole. And when that was done, it took about 10-15 minutes, if that long. I took it out of the fire and let it cool off and opened it up, and voila, there we have some char material. And this is great to get some embers going. So I'm thinking if I can create a spark and get these embers going, then I can try and light this, and then we can move up to bigger pieces of wood, and I'll make some feather sticks. So let's see how it goes. We have to kind of think ahead, and before I use up all that charred material, I need to get some more. So I don't want to leave the fire unattended. So we're going to go see if we can find some rotting wood somewhere and collect some of that so we can replace the char material that we used, although we probably won't use a whole lot of it. What I'm looking for is a log that's been sitting on the ground for a long time. I mean, this one has, and this certainly is getting close to what we need. Yeah. Can you see that? See how spongy that is? That's exactly what we want. Some fairly large rotting log that's actually laying on the ground, and that's been there for a long time. Let's try and get it with our hands. I keep saying our, and what I mean by that is you're with me. So I feel like I'm not alone. Hindi mag-isa. And look how that just crumbles up. It's very spongy, breaks apart very easily in my glove there. That's perfect. That's what we want to collect. It's okay if it's wet, because the fire is going to dry it out. If I say we, that's you and me. We're camping together. Somebody told me that I forget exactly what was said, but something like camping is too much work, so I camp vicariously through you. That's cool. Well, I think that might be too much, actually, because I forgot we have to make a teepee as well as the log cabin. Okay. Let me get my teepee pieces together. Oh, and let's not forget the feather stick. What we're going to do here is use the knife, because I don't bring a hatchet and I don't bring an axe. It's just too much weight. So I've got this, they call it a mora. I guess it's Scandinavian. It's a great knife, strong blade, keeps a sharp edge for a long time. And I use this to split wood. So I found that if I put the log fairly close to the end of the blade here, or the beginning of the blade, and then I hit this outer part of the blade with a log and just try and go straight down, try to keep it level, and that split pretty well. Now this looks like, oh, this is the oak. It's probably not the best to do feather sticks because it's so hard. I like pine. I don't see any pine in this general vicinity, but there definitely is a softer wood around. Look at all the sunlight that's directly on the campfire pit. You know what I think I'm going to do is, we'll see if we can get this going using a magnifying glass. Isn't that convenient? See? So what I did is I used my knife and sliced a little split in a piece of wood that's not too long. The sun is coming from behind me. With one end I can stick it in the ground, and we'll take our char material. Now the sun's probably going to move a lot, so I might have to keep moving this. I don't know. Let's see. We want a nice tight circle. One of you told me, don't try and get a line. Try to get a nice tight circle. If I hold it, maybe my stick isn't long enough. We want a nice concentrated beam of light. I keep thinking that I'm seeing an ember, but you know what? I think I am seeing some embers now. Look at that. Maybe what I need to do is grab some embers in here. See if we can. There we go. And now. Feather sticks. Yay! Next we'll take our tin. There's a little bit of material left. I'm gonna take some more of this fresh material we just collected. Stick it in there. And we're going to throw that right back on the fire. I don't know if you can see it, but there's some steam coming out of that tin through that knife hole cut in the top. You can see the steam coming out on the left side of it. So once that stops, that means it's done. The name of the dish is, I have to look at the paper, Ginataang Talong, eggplant in coconut milk. So first I'm going to start by cutting up my ginger and our garlic. This is the ginger. Unfortunately, I forgot the paper plates at home. So we're going to have to wing it without plates. I did sharpen my knife before I left. So it just took a few minutes, and that really made a difference. Even though I've been cutting through wood, it's still slicing through this ginger pretty nicely, I must say. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not a chef. But a lot of this is common sense, and I'm not trying to impress anybody. Well, maybe I'm trying to impress you a little bit, but don't be deceived. I am not a chef, and you will see why. Lord willing, it will come out edible. We will be able to eat it. And yeah, that includes you, because I'm going to put the recipe in the remarks, in the comments. No, in the description of the YouTube video, and then you can try it at home. In fact, nah, don't hit pause and start making it yet. Watch the whole video. And I noticed that most of the people who watch my videos are not subscribers, so I guess that's pretty common. I hear a lot of YouTubers say that. But I would really appreciate it if you did subscribe, if you like this material, if you like these videos. If you don't, then don't subscribe. I find that if you cut the ends off, then the skin comes off pretty easily. See that? All right, next we have the eggplant. I have two little eggplants that the lady at Asian Isles told me I could get at an Indian restaurant. So I went up to Greenville, South Carolina, and bought these two. Cut the ends off, and I guess slice it. I'm so glad I have this table. What would I do without it now? I'm slicing them about 1/4 of an inch thick. And I guess I'll take that skin off. Not exactly sure how to do that, but this way works, or this way. Oh, maybe this is a good way to skin it. I guess there's more than one way to skin an eggplant. If I didn't come out here and camp and try different things, then I would have never learned how to skin an eggplant. Just that little learning moment makes this trip worth it. If I don't slice my finger off. Next we have some squash. This is olive oil. And we'll put that on the fire, and once that's ready, I'll add this stuff. The fire just about went out, so I was thinking just the hot coals would be enough to cook my meal, but it's not quite enough. So ideally, I want a fire on one half, and then I can pull the coals underneath my pan. Of course, I'll lift my pan up before I pull them over. That's the idea here. That didn't take much. All right, that's washed. What should I do first? I think I'll save the tomato for last because that's going to be kind of messy. And we cut the onion. Oh yeah, it's sizzling. Keep that mixed. And I guess we can add, whoa, that might be even too hot. Whew. Is that too hot? Let's add the eggplant and the squash. And the onion while we're at it. Things are moving fast now, so I have to be careful. I want to start the rice too. I only brought a half a cup of rice, and I'm hoping that's going to be enough. You know, I'm going to put this hot pepper in, seeds and all, because I like it a little spicy. Speaking of spicy, don't let me forget to add the spices. This is gonna be way too much, I'm afraid. I know, Tatay Dave, that's way too much for that pan. It's way too much. I can't even stir it. I guess that's why you never should go camping on an empty stomach. It's kind of like shopping. When you're hungry and you go to the supermarket, you tend to buy more than what you need because you're hungry. Well, that's what happened to me today. My stomach is growling. Actually, now might be a good time to add some spices like salt and pepper at least. I put the salt in a little plastic bag. It's a half a teaspoon and half a teaspoon of pepper. And mix that in very carefully. The eggplant is starting to take on a more, and the squash, a different appearance, a little softer. I think I need to keep stirring this pretty faithfully until I add the coconut milk, and then we can just let that reduce. Oh, I gotta start the rice. Remember this? The cook set that reminds me of a Russian doll? Don't worry, I won't do the same thing I did in the last video. Some people said they think I spent too much time in the woods. That should be good. Oh, there's something black floating in there. Oh well. Tell you what, let's move some of these hot coals over here. And I guess it doesn't have to be level because it doesn't really matter. So I guess we just kind of have to keep feeding it. Stir the vegetables again. I'm not concerned about ash getting into the food because it doesn't hurt you. In fact, it might even be good for you. If you Google it, you'll find out. Now, today's meal might be great for all you vegetarians out there. You know, you don't always have to have meat when you're out camping. You can go camping without having meat. I mean, give me a break. Oh, I gotta stir the vegetable. Uh-oh, starting to burn. I wonder why the coconut milk is so solid looking. Hopefully it will become creamy. I think so. I think we can add our spices now. All right, this spice is curry. It's pretty strong stuff. And this is half a teaspoon. It goes a long way. Hopefully it's enough. Not too much, not too little, but just enough. How do you say just enough? I just learned that in my Tagalog lesson. Something lang. I forget. I need somebody to practice with. Whew. Wow, is that hot? I don't know if this is an authentic Filipino recipe, but I did put on my Tatay Dave shirt, so that gives me super Pinoy cooking powers. And this is smoked paprika. And this spice is oregano. And that's it for the spices. I'm not gonna season to taste. I'm just gonna throw them all in there. Let's check on this rice. Gotta keep a close eye on it. Yeah, it's boiling. Give it a little stir. The coconut milk is softening up, starting to become more like a cream. And that's the consistency we're looking for, a really thick cream. Come on, get in there. Get in there. Since I forgot the paper plates, I'm gonna have to eat Filipino style again on leaves. I think those will do. After I got home from the last video when I made the corned beef and ate it on the leaves, it probably has nothing to do with the leaves, but I felt unusually tired when I got back, and I'm not sure why. The only thing that came to mind were the leaves, eating on those leaves. But it could be just camping, being outside, and all the work that comes with it, which I find enjoyable. There's no pressure except cooking pressure. Hopefully the rice is cooked enough. Oh yeah. So I did check it once and removed it from the fire, but that looks good. A little bit burned, but it's not sticking to the pot. So that came out pretty nice. I think this is my best batch of rice so far. And now the Ginataang Talong. Put that right on there. Ooh. Ooh, does that look delicious. Masarap. All right, let's start with that. I think I have way too much. What am I gonna do with it all? And it's pretty amazing that I never heard of this dish a week ago. Went to a Filipino restaurant and tried it and liked it, and looked it up on YouTube, of course, for some recipes, and now I'm trying it out. So let's open our calamansi juice, Manila Gold. You know, this tastes better than our lemonade that we have here in the States. Ooh, oh, wait a minute. Is that concentrate? Lord, thank you for this food. Please let it nourish my body. In Jesus' name, amen. It's the moment of truth. Yep, it reminds me of the restaurant. Just like at the restaurant. Let me try the eggplant. Ooh, that came out nice. Nice texture. Not overcooked, not undercooked. It's just perfect. I'm trying to see if I taste any spice. Yeah, there's the spiciness. Just the right amount of spiciness. So the recipe that I put in the description is right on. This is really good. Everything is just cooked perfectly. Everything's been working out since that pizza video. So thanks for sticking with me, even though that was kind of a fiasco without the kinda. I'm thinking this is just enough rice. I'm gonna get some more. Wow, is this good? This is like another comfort food. Comfort foods are nice when you're camping. You know, we Americans, we traditionally will cook hamburgers and hot dogs when we're camping. Some of the real bushcraft men will cook steaks, or if they're really manly, I guess is the word, and skilled, then they'll trap an animal and maybe go fishing, cook up some fish. But this channel's different because we're trying Filipino food. And really, I guess I do this not only to make my channel different and to try new foods, but also to honor the people of the Philippines, because they've been our allies for decades. And they're very nice people. I hope our ties get stronger. Before I entered the forest, really, I stopped at the ranger station and I talked to a ranger there. He was telling me that some people actually live in the national forest. Now they're supposed to move on every 2 weeks. That's the rule. I could set up this camp here like I did today and live here for 2 weeks, no problem. And then after that, if I move my camp maybe, I don't know, I think it's 10 miles away, I can, don't quote me on that, whatever the rule is, I could set up camp again and kind of be nomadic. You could save a lot of money by living in the forest. Just buy a nice canvas tent that you can walk in and have some cots, figure out what you're going to do with the bathroom situation, and have a water source. It's a lot of work, but I could do it. My wife wouldn't go for it though, so it's not going to happen. But anyway, that got me to thinking about what I had prepared, which is about being content with what we have. In fact, in the Bible, the Apostle Paul, he always lived within his means. For I have learned, in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased, which means how to get by with very little, and I know how to abound. I know how to get by with more than I need. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. Now the Apostle Paul, he had a very specific mission, right? He was given the mission to bring the gospel to the Gentiles. And he wrote to Timothy, he said, and having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. Food and clothing. Now, can we be just content with food and clothing today? I don't think many people would say that they could, because you need a place to live. Our climate's different than it was in the Middle East, where it was hot and dry. Here, it snows, it gets below freezing. We need shelter. There are many principles in the Bible that are good and they make sense. But if a person is not a Christian, then they don't really apply to them. It doesn't really make any difference, because the Christian walk begins with the gospel. The Christian walk begins with admitting, I'm a sinner, I deserve to go to hell. Jesus died for me. He made it possible by paying the penalty that I deserved so that I could have eternal life with him forever. That, my friend, is the most important message of all time. And we'll close this so the bugs don't come in. And I have this little light that it's solar, and you blow it up. I have this on my website if you're interested. I'll put it in the description of the YouTube video. One of the problems that many people have in this life is that we're never satisfied. We're never satisfied. Gusto ko pumunta sa Amerika kasama ang asawa ko. I want to go to the Philippines with my wife. Gusto ko maraming opportunity para magtrabaho. I want freedom from the rat race. If one end is higher than the other, and I think this end on my right is higher, I'm gonna have my head on that end and my feet on that end. Gusto ko pumunta sa New York, at LA, at Miami, at mag-hiking ako sa Mount Washington. I want to visit Manila and Cebu and Boracay and Vigan and Baguio and Sikihor and what's the name of that province where the rice terraces are, that place, and hike up Mount Pulag and camp. Gusto ko bumili ng name brand clothes sa Amerika. I only want 3 pairs of generic shorts, 3 t-shirts, and a pair of flip-flops or slippers. It's 9 o'clock and it's actually still light out. Gusto ko mamili sa mga tindahan sa US. I hate shopping. Magandang umaga. Gusto ko ng kape at ng cinnamon roll. Gusto ko kumain ng filet mignon at Maine lobster at roasted salmon sa Amerika. I want to try Jollibees and Banana Q and Halo Halo and some fresh coconut juice, you know, like from the street vendor who chops it open with his machete and sticks a straw in. I want to try that. We're never satisfied. Gusto kong yumaman. I don't care about being rich. I just want to be left alone without people's hands in my pockets trying to take money out every time I turn around. Gusto ko bumili ng bahay sa Amerika at malaki ng kotse. I want a small house with low expenses, maybe a motorbike, and if we have to go anywhere, we could take a jeepney or one of those tricycles. Gusto ko experience ang daan tahimik alas 10 ng gabi. I want to sing O Shenandoah on a videoke machine at 10 o'clock at night while camping in the mountains. Every few minutes I just turn the cinnamon roll so it doesn't get cooked all on one side. Good. Sarap. I've found that if you cook it for about 30 minutes, that should be enough. Well, I don't know. That does not look cooked yet. So I'm going to put it back. Maybe it needs a little bit of a hotter spot. I was kind of being cautious, but let's throw caution to the wind now. Flames on either side. That should be good. Well, this isn't good. I smell something burning. Let's check it out. Uh-oh. Well, it might be okay. It's hot. Let's see if we can take it out of the orange. Oh. Put it over on this side. Come on, get out. Yeah, I think that's cooked pretty well. It's not the prettiest looking thing, but we can try and reconstruct it a little bit over here. This is the frosting. Now this cinnamon roll was not cooked previously, it was just the raw dough. So if I had cooked it, or if my wife had cooked it at home, I could have just warmed it up. And that might have been a lot easier, but I'm in no rush today, so I have time to experiment a little bit today. Not that I haven't before. And let's see how it tastes. Lord, thank you for this food. In Jesus' name, amen. First bite. Well, hello there, little fella. Where are you going? Well, that was a fun trip, but back to reality. That's all for now, Pandasal. It's time to go. Chicken adobo. So long, talong. And mabuhay!